Whoa! Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
Very important. Today is Ash Wednesday. And don't make the same mistake that I did several years ago in not knowing your religion and the religion traditions and practices. And
well, I'm not religious like Catholic,
so this would be a good listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth. Then, if you see somebody today, I remember 7-8 years ago, I was at Trader Joe's, and I really wasn't paying attention to what was going around with me, and there was somebody who had the ash on their forehead from Ash Wednesday.
Yeah,
and I was trying to be a nice guy, and I went up to him.
Said, "Hey, you got something on your head?"
And I said, "Hey, you got a little something on your head right here." And they just looked at me and laughed and kept walking. And I was like, I guess I don't get it. And then I started looking around. I noticed like 4 or 5 other people in the store had ash on their head. And then I was like, oh, this must be some kind of thing. And then I got home and I talked to my wife about it. And she's like, you dummy. It's Ash Wednesday.
That's great.
I was like, oh, well, you just, if you don't know, you don't know. So I'm just saying as a public service announcement today, don't think you're doing right by going up to somebody who's got ash on their head.
I can't believe you saw more than one person with ash on their head. I've been on this planet 43 years.
3 or 4. It's a very Catholic town.
I've never seen this.
San Luis Obispo, it's a mission. There's a mission here, right? It's a very Catholic town. A lot of Irish,
never seen it.
Irish people live here. And
you're walking around with ash on your head? Huh? Where do you get the ash from?
When you go to service.
Oh, you can't just grab it out of your own fireplace.
No, it's not like you open the ashtray in your 1985 Honda Accord.
Oh, that'd be gross. Cigarette ashes? That's gross. Yeah. Maybe cigar ashes.
Don't wipe that on.
That'd be stinky too.
Don't wipe that on your forehead. But just as a public service announcement today, just so you know, the more you know, I guess, if you will.
The more you know.
Yeah, the more you know. Don't tell somebody, hey, you got something on your forehead. It's embarrassing for you, not for them.
What were you saying, man?
And I'm driving up 9th Street in Los Osos, and they got a tent set up on the street, but ashes to go with 2 priests outside.
Wow. They got like an ash stand?
They got an ash stand with an easy up tent, and they're outside on 9th Street in Los Osos saying ashes to go, and they're in the rain. And I've never seen this, and I've never even heard of it until you're talking on the radio, and then I passed that thing.
Me too. Yeah.
I had to tell you.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thanks.
Ashes to go.
If you want to, get it done quickly, I guess, bad day to be underneath a 10x10 pop-up tent.
Yeah, you could say that.
With things that turn into mud if they get water.
Yeah, well, that and then, there's a chance of thunderstorms. But, I'm sure they've got the man upstairs.
Yeah, exactly.
Protecting them, right?
They're fine from that account. Things are changing for the Catholic Church. Have you ever been to a Catholic wedding? Or been a part of a Catholic wedding?
Yeah, I know they're really long. Really long. My
friend Josh was not Catholic, but he was marrying a Catholic girl. And this was, I think I was 20, 21. It was summertime in Seattle, and it was one of those weirdly hot days where it's over 90 degrees, which doesn't happen very often in Seattle, or at least it didn't used to. Now I guess it happens more. And I wanted to look good for the wedding. So I decided to lay out in the sunshine prior to the wedding. Well, I fell asleep. And I fell asleep in the sun, and I got a nasty, gnarly sunburn.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about Seattle sun versus California sun. I can't get sunburnt here. But Seattle sun, maybe you're closer to the sun. I don't know. Probably not the case. But there are longer days up there because it's higher north, and you get more sunlight during the summertime. 4 o'clock that afternoon.
Well, you're still getting more sunlight in the Northwest than you are down here.
So I woke up and I'm like, oh man, I fell asleep. I gotta go get ready for the wedding. And I get to the wedding, get to the venue. Nothing in Seattle has air conditioning. Nothing, especially an old Catholic church. And I'm sitting up there during the ceremony with my sunburn in a hot church, sweating buckets. I'm pretty sure I blacked out, not from alcohol consumption, but just from the
dehydration.
Yeah. My friend Kyle said he looked over at me at one point during the sermon, and they thought that they were going to have to take me to the hospital. I mean, I'm just sweating buckets, and I'm standing there the entire time. It was a long ceremony. It had to be an hour 15 plus, and you have to stand there the entirety of the thing. So
I've been to one Catholic wedding, and that was the one rule I had with my wedding with my wife. I don't know if it was a rule, but it was a request.
Yes.
I said, I want to keep this to 15 minutes.
Yes.
If we could get it under 15, awesome. She goes, dude, I think we could do it in like 10 or 12.
So to see that the Catholic Church is making efforts to make Ash Wednesday a thing of convenience, that's a good sign. Trending in the right direction for the Catholic Church.
93.3 KCOZ rocks. Subscribe to the Jeff and Jeremy podcast now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, and YouTube. It's your Central Coast commute-friendly podcast.